Today in the Daily Dose, friendly fire casualties at Pearl Harbor. After years of imposed trade sanctions by the United States, in response to Japan's expansionist aggression in China and Southeast Asia, the Empire of Japan came to the conclusion that the only way to increase their influence in the region was to take out the Americans' Pacific Fleet based at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. After months of planning and practice, at 8 a.m. Sunday morning, December 7, 1941, Japanese warplanes filled the sky over Honolulu, wreaking havoc on the Americans' idle and unsuspecting Pacific Fleet warships. The two-wave attack by 353 Japanese warplanes was over in less than 2 hours, crippling or destroying nearly 19 American ships and more than 188 aircraft, taking the lives of 2,403 sailors and soldiers, while wounding an additional 1,178 more. During the attack, to heap misfortune upon misfortune, a day earlier, the Navy had undertaken a large-scale air defense exercise before giving anti-aircraft battery crews town leave beginning on the evening of December 6, leaving the defense of Pearl Harbor in the hands of 5-inch naval guns, which were designed to engage surface targets rather than Japanese dive bombers. During the heat of battle, both time fuse and contact artillery shells took over the role of Honolulu's idled anti-aircraft batteries, and while 55 Japanese airmen were killed during the attack, civilian casualties in Honolulu and elsewhere took direct hits by the fuselage of shells that missed enemy targets and landed in the streets surrounding Pearl Harbor. 32 people died in Honolulu during the attack, including a 3-month-old baby, while another 36 civilians were killed in other communities surrounding the harbor, including Japanese-American restaurateur Chitsuo Hirosaki, who was killed instantly when a 55-pound shell exploded inside his diner. 3 of his children were killed in the explosion, along with their 14-year-old cousin and 7 young men who just happened to be eating breakfast. A day later, at the beginning of his speech to Congress requesting a declaration of war, President Franklin D. Roosevelt delivered a speech which still resonates within the collective minds of Americans, making friendly fire casualties at Pearl Harbor yet another tragic loss of life during the insanity of war. And there you have it, friendly fire casualties at Pearl Harbor, today on the Daily Dose. If you enjoyed this short educational video, consider giving the filmmakers a YouTube super thanks from as little as $1, so that you too can feed the filmmakers who feed your brain.